I went to Roosevelt Middle School. My daily routine was to wake up hungry, walk to the bus stop, past McDonald's, the liquor stores, past Popeyes, past the first Burger King, catch the 38 to the second Burger King, order my favorite round hash browns, and watch the young brown bodies drool. I don't know if we loved Burger King or just loved not being hungry anymore, because breakfast before school wasn't a requirement, but having to focus through 6 periods hungry was. During PE, I remember we had to run the mile, but luckily, my first year that turned into laps on our medium-sized area on the roof, I jogged, skipped mostly. But my second year, we had to run a mile around Rossi Park, and I had already alerted my teachers that this was going to be my revolutionary act to walk the mile. Truth is, I knew my asthma would finish me before I could finish this race. I lost friends by the block. And in the end, it was us, the fattest girl and fattest boy in the class. And he chose silence, and I chose comedy. So by default, I had more friends than him. Tassiana, they screamed. You better not let him beat you. We looked at each other, began our interpretation of running. Go, Tassiana, go, Tassiana. And I could hear a few of his friends, go, Wilson. But I beat him. I wasn't slow, I was just fat. And that is the only other time I can think of me running, other than from this poem. By luck, I escaped type 1. And I feel like I'm always one soda away from type 2, but that's like dodging a bullet and committing suicide with a gun. My kitchen feels a lot like the shooting range these days. Feels a lot like the mile these days. And I wish my emotions wasn't so invested so I can write the most eloquent poem about type 2. Tell you all its facts, hit you in the gut with reality, but the stats don't tell my story. How I can feel the sun kissing my face. Hear my grandpa trot up the creaky steps, the smell of oil and dough and joy. My breakfast every day before school was a dozen donut holes. My grandfather created a tragic tradition, rarely said I love you, but made a sanctuary out of Saturdays for us. Took the long way to McDonald's so we can giggle and gather up our hunger, learn to find I love you in white paper bags instead of his lips. See, I loved food out of ritual. This is about me and obesity, how those concepts aren't always separate, how to measure myself separate from my measurements, not panic when my friends park close to the curb, because I don't just tip the scale, I tip the car. This is about how I starve myself before blood work, praying it doesn't pick up the candy from my last time of the month. This is me praying I don't forget diabetes knocked 2 uncles off their feet and one is barely standing. This is my battle between diet and dialysis, about being stuck between 2 Burger Kings and never having it your way. This is a lot like middle school, like running, like Wilson being diabetes and me praying that I beat it. Thank you.